Have you ever noticed how what you do to yourself affects everything around you? So if we're harming ourselves, if we're not taking care of ourselves, then the outside world is not taking care of themselves. And the only way to transform the outside world is by individually taking care of ourselves. And I know we can complain and we can blame and we can hurt others because we're not feeling good or we're not happy with what's happening. But that isn't the way. That's not the way to solve anything. It actually makes things worse. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we all have this addiction to suffering and pain. And we can get into habits, repeating habits of hurting ourselves. And we can hurt ourselves with overeating, drinking and smoking, laziness, not doing what we know we should be doing, blaming, complaining, beating ourselves up in our minds, also negative self-talk. These are all ways that we hurt ourselves. And if we continue to keep hurting ourselves, we start to feel bad. Like we start to get body pain. Our body starts to get sick or diseases. And, this is, I've been paying attention to this, and this isn't like a far out concept or woo-woo or anything. This is true. This is true. And the only way you can get to know it is if you start to pay attention to it. You start to notice how you feel after you negatively talk to yourself and beat yourself up, call yourself stupid, call yourself an idiot, blame yourself for, bad things happening to you. Or how when you blame other people for bad things happening to you, do you feel good? Like, do you feel good? And if the answer is no, then what does feel good? We almost don't even know what feels good because we're so addicted to feeling bad. And I know this is, a hard topic to discuss, and people don't like really looking at the truth of things. But I like to bring attention to it. That's part of my mission. Part of who I am is bringing attention to things that aren't talked about, that we ignore, that we put under the rug and keep living with. And so when we keep hurting ourselves, we keep hurting the outside world too. And the only way to transform it is to be better to ourselves, to start taking better care of ourselves. And we don't have to do a radical change. We don't have to do like radical things. We can just start with one small thing. Start with the easiest thing, like eating more fruit in the morning, or going for a 10-minute walk to take care of our bodies, to take care of our mental well-being. To stop gossiping or complaining or blaming for 10 minutes. If you go to the water cooler or the kitchen at work, where you get into a habit of always, bitching and complaining about a client or the work or somebody else, try it once this week to not do it. And this is a conscious decision, like a conscious effort. Because when you go in the kitchen and at work and gossip and complain, you're pretty much doing that unconsciously because it's a habit, right? You just keep doing it. You're not noticing that you're doing it. But this week, try one time to not engage when other people are gossiping and complaining. And see if you feel better because you didn't do it. I've tested this out before. Usually when I don't gossip and complain, I lose friends, or they weren't my friends anyway, probably, but people will gravitate away from me because I don't engage in their gossip and complaining. I don't engage in their bitching and complaining. I just stay silent. I stay quiet. And then eventually they don't even come over to me because they know I won't feed their addiction to complain and blame and gossip. So this is a hard one or an easy one. Depends how you look at it. I think it's easy because I don't want to hear about people complaining and bitching and blaming other people for their problems. Other people aren't your problem. You are your problem. And the only way to turn it around and to heal from that is to start taking better care of yourself, making conscious choices to not do those things. Is hard work, or is it? It's just noticing. And even just noticing that you gossip and complain is enough to bring awareness to it, to bring light to it that you do gossip and complain. Anyway, I want to bring attention to that this week because it's self-harming. It causes self-harm. And then it also causes harm in the bigger world around you, your world, your environment. And then it also causes harm in the greater world, on the news, in wars and fighting and that kind of thing. But if we were all to take a little action, take a little self-awareness and choice and change it, what could that do? Could that change things in the world? It will change things for you, and that's all that really does matter. But it can change the outer world as well if we all make a decision to stop hurting ourselves in these ways. Start with blaming, complaining, and gossiping. Just notice it first. Then don't do it once. And see how you feel. I give you that challenge this week. And my name is Jennifer Seifert, spiritual teacher. And I do practice these things. I do pay attention to these things. And I want everyone else to. If you're so inclined to feel better, to feel happier, to feel more joy, to bring more warmth and generosity and love and light into your life, try it. Try it as a challenge for yourself. I challenge you to. Have a great week. See you again soon.